can I just say that's something I wanted to mention? Buying and collecting movies, very, very odd. Because we were talking about steelbooks.
Yeah, what is it with steelbooks
like
now? Jesus.
Well,
like, people go nuts for them, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said with steelbooks, if it's A, a film I really like, and B, the package artwork is sufficiently different and superior to the standard packet, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
But all this thing is just scalping it for just picking them up, and these bastards who are picking up like 10 copies of it
and selling it on
eBay. I mean, you get people listing them on eBay for ones that haven't been released yet.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
The numpties, they'll be getting them from the wholesale place or something, won't they? But it's a bit weird because obviously people who watch my channel know I used to buy lots of DVDs and I'd do a DVD update every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now I don't really buy much. I just can't afford to because I've got my own place now and stuff.
The economy's gone to shit.
And the economy's gone to shit. So like every penny counts, and I just can't buy as much as I did. So if I buy anything, it's usually second hand, or I'll get a special edition if it's something that like I just need in my life.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Indiana Jones one.
The Indiana Jones, Jaws, and E.T. will be the ones that I take the plunge on.
It's basically you're funding Spielberg.
Yeah, basically. But Spielberg, funded my childhood. I say funded, but he gave me, what I mean, like
certain subtext.
Yeah. He paid me to keep my mouth shut.
So how do you feel about this Spielberg? No, it's fine. No, seriously, he was pretty aggressive.
But yeah, no, those I'll get. But to be honest, like a lot of the stuff I've got recently has been bought for me. Like you bought me Warhorse.
Yeah.
For us putting you up for the weekend, and Laura bought me the Stanley Kubrick Blu-ray box set because of getting a promotion.
Yeah.
And as a congratulatory thing. So
that's got a really good documentary in it, by the way.
I've heard
Kubrick
good things.
box set, yeah.
So yeah, I mean I love Kubrick. It goes without saying. So yeah, the opportunity to buy stuff for me isn't there anymore, and seeing like all these videos going up now in the YouTube film community, it's all steelbook stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's fucking how do you do that?
Well, plus, I mean, I know if you pre-order them, they're not that much more expensive, but the markup and the fact that they disappear, it's like, for example, on your shelf, you have the Back to the Future tin with all the stuff in it. That, not sealed, sealed, but all the stuff's still in it, is going for like 150 quid on eBay. Are these people soft in the head?
It's a Blu-ray.
Yeah. Let's get a bit of perspective. It's half an holiday and you just spent it on...
Yeah, well that costs more than it cost me to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Like, for a plane ticket. So that's...
it's like, but I would say as well, oversaturation of the market, because there's sort of... it used to be not every release would have a steelbook. Now every release, steelbook.
Yeah.
Because for example, what you were talking about, how you buy things and how you can't buy as much. What me and my wife do is we go through SafePlay.com and we literally look through the page and go, this is what's coming out, this is what we need.
Yeah.
And we literally write it down in the calendar, so we don't go into HMV and go, ooh, and spend half a wage. But for example, would be The Amazing Spider-Man were coming out, and Bev said, I don't think it has a steelbook. And I went, it will. And lo and behold, there it goes.
Yeah, but steelbooks, they used to be fairly rare, and I think that was part of the appeal.
Yeah,
but
they're not special anymore.
No, they've kind of lost that kind of allure.
I mean, the odd one, it's like Jaws. I bet you get the steelbook for that.
Well, Jaws is one of my favourite films, so yeah, that's one.
Yeah,
that's one I'll get. I love Jaws. That's actually that brings me on to something actually. How do you feel about the tendency, especially of Universal, re-releasing films in cinema? Because I
love it.
Yeah, I do too. Laura and I, and Laura's mum, the three of us went to see Jaws.
Well, we did at Blackburn.
Yeah.
When we went, the cinema was empty.
Yeah.
Which would be another question I pitched to you. When you went, is anyone actually going to them?
There were a handful of people who went to see Jaws, but we also went to see Jurassic Park last year now that was out.
Yeah, because that was just before the box set got released, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so we went to see Jurassic Park at the cinema, and that was pretty busy. And there were lots of parents there taking the kids who clearly hadn't seen it before.
Yeah.
And I like that. To be honest, that made it even more enjoyable. It's like when the Duke showed E.T. They're taking kids in, and it was like, these kids are like me when I saw it for the first time in cinema, and I found that to be quite heartwarming. And Laura and I, and this is going to sound really stupid, but I think film fans watching this will understand, Laura and I cried in Jurassic Park, both of us.
Because you were back in that moment.
It was, because Jurassic Park is a big part of both of our childhoods, and like Laura grew up watching it, I grew up watching it, and we both absolutely loved that movie. And it was the scene where they get to the park and
they're movie nerds, they do movie nerds.
Yeah, and the music builds and swells. Yeah, and I was watching it, and it just for a split second, I was like 4 years old again. Yeah. And watching it, and that was quite special. So
I don't want that. I mean, I know it was not quite the same, but I remember when Superman Returns came out. Because of course I'm a bit older than yourself, and even though I think Superman Returns sucks ass, but I remember like going to see it, and I was sat there, and of course because it has the John Williams score, the first time I hear it on the big screen, I hear that bump a bump, bump a bump, and I'm like, yeah, we're there, yes. I mean, but like I was saying last night, actually, that's what Lucas did very shrewdly in the late 90s with the re-release. And like you said, he literally cornered another market with the Star Wars re-releases, another generation.
Because it's weird, because there's like 10 years between me and you.
Yeah.
And you grew up on Star Wars, and luckily, because it was re-released in the mid-90s, I grew up on Star Wars as well. And it's bizarre, really, when you stop and think about it, but George Lucas managed to take those movies and appeal to two generations.
I think with the 3D he got greedy. He went for the third roll of the dice.
Yeah, and he blew up in his face.
Snake eyes.
Yeah, so but that was pretty interesting that it applies to so many different people, Star Wars, and it's like Laura can't wrap her head around why it holds so much. And
I was saying again to Laura last night, I was like, there's no real reason why Star Wars is flawed movies. I mean, we've said that, but the Star Wars is just the magic. There's no real reason why people should love Star Wars as much as they do. They genuinely isn't, but people just do. Yeah, and we can't
understand why. The thing is, though, we were saying like Empire, The Empire Strikes Back is probably the only legitimately well-rounded good movie in the bunch. It's the film of the trilogy.
The one Star Wars film I wouldn't be embarrassed to show a cineast. Yeah, kind of thing.
And apart from that, they are really flawed and stuff, but we love them. Yeah. I think back to my childhood, and a lot of my memories revolve around Star Wars. Like,
well, that's it. I mean, again, this is but early 80s Star Wars was just the shit. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much the only game in town that was that big. I mean, Flash Gordon, extent the UK,
which we watched.
Yeah, we got that last night
on Blu-ray. That was awesome.
You were surprised how good the transfer was for that, weren't you?
Well, to be honest, like Flash Gordon, I literally haven't seen. The last time I watched Flash Gordon was with my granddad, and he died when I was 8 years old, so it's been a while since I've seen Flash Gordon. And I thought going into it, I was like, it's probably going to be shit. It's probably not going to be how I remember it, but it's actually a lot better than I was expecting. And
watching it through adult eyes, there's a lot of shit going on in this.
Well, like watching it through adult eyes, you pick up on the fetishistic sexual undertones and borderline misogynistic bloody statement that it made.
Well, it was like the light where Bob Minion looked at it, it's like, have you ever seen such a response? No, truly, not even your daughter.
There are kids in the audience who go straight over. You just imagine all the dads in the audience going, what?
Marie, get the car.
Yeah, pull the car out. But that was pretty interesting. Like, I enjoyed Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched Flash Gordon because we've both seen Ted recently. Yeah. And I know you liked Ted a lot more than I did.
I did.
for the most part, for me, Ted fell flat. A lot of the jokes, and it's like Family Guy, to be honest. I'm not even that keen on Family Guy
anymore. It's kind of overstaying its welcome, isn't it?
When the jokes hit, they hit hard and they're funny and they get belly laughs. But when they don't, it's just kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Seth MacFarlane. I love American Dad. American Dad is brilliant. Like I really like American Dad. But Ted, for all its laughs, it was a bit shit. But basically, the point I'm making is throughout Ted, they keep referring to Flash Gordon. All the way through, you have music cues from Flash Gordon, you've got a cameo from Sam L. Jones.
Well, I actually said to you, because I saw it before you, and I didn't want to give you spoilers, but I literally said to you on the phone, I said, you're going to watch it, there's going to be a cult movie they make reference to, and you're going to buy it within 24 hours, and that's exactly what happened.
I bought it on Blu-ray when we watched it last night. So.
It was... Laura didn't get it.
No, Laura... No, she... No.
Mind you, Bev didn't get it. Bev tolerates Flash Gordon for me.
I think it's a guy thing, I really do.
Well, it has boar worms in it, how can it not be? Oh, father!
But, so that was pretty good.